Good luck. Good luck.
Hello, friends, and welcome to the opening game of the second annual Illinois Twilight Struggle tournament. I'm Justin Abramson. Frank Zhang is coming right up. And we're thrilled you could join us for tonight's game between last year's top two finishers as the defending champion Derek Miller takes on last season runner-up Jeremy Anders. Jeremy is a relatively new member of the Illinois crew, having been pulled out of retirement last year to join this tournament and then making a surprising run to the championship game. Jeremy followed that up by putting up a respectable 5-win season in the OTSL Gold League as a mid-season replacement. We're glad to have him back in the community. Derek, of course, is a man who needs no introduction, a popular Twilight Struggle streamer, beloved by all, mostly for his great work as an OTSL administrator and community member, but also for his squeaky clean language on his streams, most notably his trademark gosh darn it's. So, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you may be, we invite you to kick back, relax, and enjoy some Twilight Struggle this evening as the road to the ITS Champions League begins right now. And with that, I'd like to turn to Frank Zhang. Frank, I know you narrowly missed out on a spot in the championship game last year, so I'd love your thoughts on this matchup. But first, I'm drawing a blank, so I hope you can refresh my memory. How did Team Illinois do in the U.S. Cup this year?
Yeah, it wasn't our year this year, Justin. Even though we had Matt on the dice, things didn't go our way. But there's always next year, right? As they say.
Yes, indeed. Okay. So this actually seems like a pretty darn good containment hand, but Jeremy is going with defectors here. What do you think about that, Frank?
Yeah, that's interesting. I think I would have gone with containment, especially one of the most cards I wanted to defect is Vietnam action round, or turn one rather. And Jeremy does have that. Obviously, containment effectively defects the purge. So yeah, not sure what he was trying to catch there. I guess socialist governments is a good catch, though.
Yeah. So I favor the 4-4-2 setup. So I'm not as afraid of sock govs, but yeah, if defectors turn out to be a good play there, if he gets hit with sock govs there, he's certainly losing Italy. As it is, Derek takes the big coup in Iran.
Yeah, the containment would have been just so valuable, I think.
Yeah, containment was going to be, I mean, it was going to be the full 6 ops here. And 7 if blockade was invented, which I'm sure it wouldn't be. Containment also really valuable, I think, with Korean War. You event Korean War, even if you lose the war, you take South Korea to 3-1. Then Derek has to use China to take it back. By the way, just so everyone knows, we are watching from Jeremy's side tonight. He's the U.S. Derek the and this is lots of 3s and 2s is a great hand for containment because don't you hate it when you have all those 1s. You say, oh, great, containment, and then you get purged and containment does nothing. But this would be guaranteed to get almost full value out of containment. I guess he's going to try and hold it till next turn.
Right. That's a good point with, people talk about obviously containment will give you more ops, but I feel like we need to coin a term for not just raw number of ops, but just the speed at which you can play the ops, right? So for example, your point with Korean War and especially a contained de Gaulle being able to take France immediately has a bit of extra value just on top of all the additional ops you get in the first place.
Oh yeah, I love playing a contained de Gaulle into an epi France. One of my favorite plays in Twilight Struggle. So satisfying.
Get that guy out of the deck.
Use de Gaulle, get him out of the deck, and take France, and with it, Europe domination. Now, oftentimes you do that, you can wind up giving up Algeria, but I'll take that trade of getting the USSR's best weapon to take France out of the deck and getting Europe domination. And if I have to give up Algeria, so be it. But oftentimes the USSR has bigger priorities turn 1 and 2. So Derek thinking hard about his next move. He got a successful coup in, and now you think maybe he goes to space, maybe go to South Korea. What would you do if you're Derek? Okay. Oh wow, giving up Marshall right away.
I was speculating we might be seeing a D card based off the time, but no. Giving up Marshall Plan, that is interesting with Italy so weak.
Yeah, I'm really surprised to see I'm really surprised to see, giving up Marshall on turn one. I mean, that is, I
It
mean, seven useful hops almost in Europe. Now, maybe Derek has 5-year plan in Europe.
Yeah, that's one thing, but it really looks like he has the Asia scoring, doesn't it?
Yeah, sure does. Two in Afghanistan. I know my Team DC teammate Ted Livermore loves to try and score dominations from just North Korea and Afghanistan. So maybe Derek was trying to do that as well. But yeah, two in Afghanistan suggests that he's got the scoring and he's going to push hard for it,
Hmm.
even without a D card. Or he's really, really afraid of IP war.
Maybe he's even willing to coup Malaysia here.
Yeah, boy,
Seems crazy, but
I given up a trying a Malaysia coup with it at 2. If you coup with a 3, you need a 4 to get in there. Those odds are just not great. Um,
I agree. It's not a good odds play, but I think if you're trying to score Asia for a Dom turn one, you need some access to that Southeast region, or else it's too easy for the US to level.
yeah, yes, I agree. So now Derek decides to attack the Middle East with Nasser. And now I think if you're Jeremy, you go ahead and coup that, right? You try and coup out Nasser, get DEFCON down to 3.
I think so. Yeah, you take your mill ops, get that out of the way, and go ahead and stroll into Thailand.
Yeah, I think that's the play. Now, of course, now you don't have to worry about Vietnam, but I don't think Derek would have taken Afghanistan if he had decall. Do you?
No, no, I don't think Derek has decall at all.
I mean, I'd rather put those extra 2 into South Korea. Heck, even put them in Iraq. Um, Something else. Okay. Oh, so instead of the coup, yeah, this is the safer play from Jeremy to just take Libya.
Yeah, and especially because he used Marshall Plan and put two of those ops in Afghanistan, just really suggests he doesn't have decall and does have the Asia scoring.
Yeah. Oh, he's going to put 1 in South Korea. So maybe he's interested in contesting Korea here. Now, the fact that he's using Comic Con here means he's now got to hold containment till the end of the turn for blockade. But I think he probably wants to hold it to next turn anyway. The challenge there, if you do that, means you've got to give up one of Vietnam or Korean War.
Yeah, I think we're playing the meta because I think all of us know Derek's not a player that events blockade on turn one. So we're probably safe from that.
Yep, that's true. I actually just evented blockade on turn 1 in game 3 of my OTSL semifinal series to great effect. Um, but yeah, some players just don't want to play around it on turn 1. And but Frank, don't you think he'd try to hold containment anyway, regardless of the blockade situation?
I
Okay,
agree,
well, we're
yes.
about to find out anyway. Okay, what do you make of that, Frank?
Not happy to see D-stall.
Yeah, you're not happy to see D stall, but I don't think Derek probably wants to use D stall in Southeast Asia. Also, Derek also does not have Europe or 5-year plan. Rather, I speculated he might have 5-year plan in Europe, giving up Marshall like that. Um, but okay, what are you going to do here? I think you need mill ops if you're Jeremy.
Yeah. If you do take a coup, D-stall is probably going into Thailand though, right?
Yeah, I don't know if I want to spend 2 on Thailand, but so okay, so Jeremy does take the coup. Now Derek has the option to coup back, get DEFCON to 2, and then play D stall next. Just play D stall next AR. No, he's gonna go influence, take Egypt, and with it, oh, he doesn't that doesn't even take domination. Interesting. Okay. Well, DEFCON is at 3. Are you? I mean, I think you want to take Thailand here, right? Or do you want to get into Colombia here
Yeah,
with
Colombia
opponent
would be
having D
a
stall?
interesting play. Definitely Thailand.
Oh boy, I don't like using containment there. I'd rather see it held for next turn.
Go with the IP war, maybe.
Yeah, boy, IP war with USSR, with Derek having Iran and Afghanistan. I don't. I mean, I guess it gets you. Does get you mill ops on turn two. That's something. But I think containment is a lot more
Yeah.
valuable.
And I don't think you need the three ops in Thailand right now. You can use
No.
one from Vietnam to overprotect it
Yeah.
later on.
Yeah. I don't.
Uh,
I
that
don't
might
think you need. Yeah. I think you put one or two in there, and then you can finish that off with Vietnam, which you're clearly giving up.
that might be a play where Jeremy finds he regrets next turn. Similar when you were yelling at me for ditching Kennedy in my my
Yeah.
what was that, my semifinal, or sorry, quarterfinal game, and 2 turns later I had a perfect Kennedy hand. If Jeremy gets purged next turn with a kind of handful of red cards, he's going to wish he had that containment.
For sure. And we haven't seen blockade either. And yeah, I was yelling at you for that, Frank, but at the same time, I'm on the other end as I'm way too greedy with Kennedy. Um, and so I hold him for the perfect event, and then he gets Aldrich, or I have to blockade or something, and I ended up losing a card. So or I draw like just gunman, and other than that, a great hand, and so that makes it tough too. But yeah, sometimes big Kennedy can really change a game. So Derek, excuse me, Jeremy goes with an early Vietnam here. Does not go into Colombia, but does go into Angola.
Yeah. So Derek's sitting on D-Stel and Romanian. So 100% D-Stel's coming here.
You got a D-stall here.
And do you have to go 2 into Venezuela to prevent the Colombia walk?
Yeah, I mean, I think you'd like to, but I think, well, the other thing is Derek is probably hoping to draw De Gaulle next turn, so he's probably going to give up the coup anyway. He may also draw Suez and dump Europe, something like that. So there's a chance Derek may give up the coup. Okay, he goes to Venezuela and none Brazil. Boy, I don't know that I like that. Now, if you give up the coup, you're out of the top half of South America entirely with a halfway decent roll. What do you
Yeah,
think of
that's
that? What do you
risky.
think? I think I would have rather seen one each, make him at least spend the one in Colombia, and then spend another three in Venezuela. Um, would have been my play, but we'll see how this works out for him.
But on the other hand, if the US gets a coup, they might take the safer odds on Zaire, right?
That's true. Yes, that's true. Okay. So Jeremy decides to space Korean War. And so he's going to hold IP war here, gives up a point to Millops. And what kind of scorings are we going to see? You didn't see any scorings on turn one. And
Whoa,
now
hello.
Middle East comes out. And okay, well, this is a terrible containment hand. So we're idiots.
So we suck.
Okay.
All right.
So a Middle East scoring is a possibility here. It's unlikely to get better. You could dump it for one and keep your ops, keep your 3-4 ops. Wow.
Yep.
U.S. Japan a possibility. U.S. Japan gives you domination in Asia. It would be a very temporary domination. Truman also a possibility to counter De Gaulle.
Yeah.
Red Scare Purge also counters De Gaulle, to be perfectly fair.
That's true. Yeah. With one overprotection, purge will stop a 4-op from.
Yes. So it goes with the purge. We'll see how many ops he gets out of it. This is a big hand. So Jeremy with an opportunity here to bully Derek a little bit. And now Derek he's going to dump the scoring because he's not going to be able to take France. And now he's got to give up a coup. And if I'm Jeremy, I'm pulling out one of them 4 ops and I'm taking a big swing at Venezuela right here. What would you do, Frank?
Interesting. I think I would probably go Zaire, but maybe I'm that risk adverse. Obviously, Venezuela does have more long-term value, getting herself into South America, avoiding getting controlled there.
Yeah, so a 2-op coup of Zaire is also a good play. And then now we have not seen decall, so Derek could have decall. I like the 4-op coup in Venezuela. Anything but a 1, you wipe them out. If you
Yep.
can get a 3, you probably get both countries in the top half of South America, and there's nothing that Derek is probably going to be able to do about that till the mid-war.
Yeah. If I think about that a bit more, actually, I'm liking the Venezuela coup. I mean, you have a few more 4-ops in your hand, so you can certainly afford to take some risk right now.
Jeremy, thinking about influence there, I think this has to be a coup.
Yeah, I think
Oh,
that was just a misclick. Going
oh,
Iran.
oh boy. Okay. All right. I see it. I guess I see it because you have Middle East scoring your hand, obviously, and then you are threatening Pakistan right away. Okay, so now okay, wow. All right, well, I think that would have been bigger in South America. And then you just dump. You see if you can dump Middle East for just for -1. I don't know. What do you think about that, Frank?
Yeah, I think with Derek under purged, you're probably able to uh, get away with the Middle East there. But obviously, if he had rolled one more pip on that Iran coup, Jeremy would be looking to dominate.
Yep.
So,
Okay, so Jeremy now does get domination in the Middle East. So he has flipped
yeah.
Middle East from -1 to +3 here. And Derek seems to be fighting here in Asia. So, okay, EU is going to go to
Yeah.
space. Derek's trying for the VPs and he misses on the roll. So now Jeremy can either score a domination or he can take India here. I also should mention, of course, the fact that Iran is an IP war modifier. So now they Jeremy does have a chance to event IP war at a 1/3 chance instead of just 1 in 6, which it certainly would have been played for ops in that case.
It's also looking like Derek does not have decall.
Oh yeah, I think if he had decall, we'd have seen it right there.
You know,
Certainly he would play it right here. Okay, he's going to get his mill ops. Doesn't get the war roll. And now I would expect to see Middle East. Oh, no, going right away for the IP war. And Jeremy misses on the war roll as well. So we are 0-2 on wars. But now, Derek, excuse me, I'm sorry, Frank, I think that could have waited. Derek pretty clearly doesn't have Asia. I think I would have rather get Middle East scored.
yeah.
But just in case Derek decided to fill Iraq. But he doesn't. And Jeremy's going to get his domination off here for 3.
I missed so much of what just happened. You were talking about these wars, but my stream was just frozen and not showing anything.
Oh
But
yeah, so they
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 both
they,
missed
they traded
apparently.
wars, and then Derek just played a Romanian to just put 1 in Pakistan because he just gave up the China card. Um, Jeremy gave up Fidel. He's now retaken France, but both France and Italy weak now to socialist governments redraw, and of course Suez in the deck as well. So if it were me, I'd put another one in France, but I'm always a little bit too overprotective of France.
What's your thought on
Oh,
eventing Truman to get rid of the Algeria access there?
yeah, that would have been interesting. I think I actually like that. You could all okay. So Jeremy gets decall. He gets Asia, so he's happy Derek did not get decall. He also got Suez. Now he still needs to dodge sock Govs here in Europe, though.
Yeah.
And he gets
Well,
sock Govs. Okay, so his hand is full of not great cards, but lots of cards that he doesn't want Derek to have. So now he knows that Europe is going to be safe. So the question is, do you defect here? You don't have a great headline otherwise. I haven't been card tracking. We've seen the purge. The 2 Europe attack cards and decall are safely in Jeremy's hand. So I don't know what defectors is seem as a redraw seems like a pretty good headline here, but I don't know that there's much he's going to be able to defect.
Yeah, unless Derek is trying to slip by a redrawn purge in the headline.
Yeah, he could have just as easily redrawn Europe and hoped to catch defectors because he doesn't have any Europe attack cards.
That's true.
Also, no. Also, to be fair, blockade is still around, so a redrawn purge is a big problem.
Yes, yes.
Because Derek also has blockade, and Jeremy has nothing to discard to it. So yeah, I think you have to headline defectors and just hope that Derek didn't both redraw Europe and then also decide to headline it. Okay,
Oh boy.
that's a nice one. That's a nice one to defect.
Yep. Don't even have to sweat the war roll and wipe your brow when it misses, if it misses.
Oh my god, I clench both fists. Somebody should make a compilation of my reactions to my opponent eventing IP war, like before I even know the outcome. Just like I like clench my fist, my whole body's oh no, oh here we go. It's ugly, but yeah. So he obviously Jeremy was hoping to catch purge. IP war probably the next best
thing almost.
He could catch.
Yeah, with Jeremy holding some of the other things he would have wanted to defect. Yeah, IP war is up there.
Okay, so Derek gets a nice 2-op coup in Angola. So Formosan's not going to come into play here. Jeremy doesn't have the ops to.
Derek has we haven't seen CNS, right? So Jeremy might want to just space here.
Oh, that's true. So the question is, do you want to space here or do you want to take Algeria here?
Yeah.
And so, the Jeremy's decision to coup in Iran helped him in the Middle East, and it got him 4 VPs. But boy, the mid-war regions would look so much better if Derek were out of the top half of South America and Jeremy were able to take control of both those in the early war. So huge for the U.S. to be able to do that. And yeah, Jeremy looks like he's going to just take Algeria here.
Yeah, with how the mid-war regions are looking, I'm thinking grabbing Algeria may be more important than space. But yeah, you knew Derek was eventing that right away after.
Yep. And now I think you just dump Asia.
Yeah, Asia dump looks good.
Yep, just get rid of that obligation. Derek knows you have it. Okay, so now.
So not much else to do on the board, but you still got some ops to work with.
Yeah, well,
I guess there are some obligations to some of these ops with Suez and Socialist.
So you've got a space decall, and you're going to have to trigger one of these events. You'd rather trigger Suez, I guess. Okay, special, that helps.
That does help.
Yep. So now I think you trigger Suez and probably hold Socialist to just get Suez out of the deck. Not that it's going to have that much of an impact in the late war, but you're going to have to trigger one of the two. And I generally would prefer the start event.
Yep.
Jeremy hits on the roll, so he's going to go into the mid-war, probably down a couple of VPs. What do you make of this board, Frank? Asia looking even. Europe looks pretty safe US, and then the Middle East even, but Africa and South America looking pretty red at the moment.
Yeah, I'm not loving my position in the mid-war regions going in the mid-war, but a lot depends on what the turn 4 hands look like. Easily, if US draws, the nuts, if you will, with grain sales, ABM, Junta, etc. in turn 4, things can turn around pretty quickly.
Yep. And so Jeremy quickly takes Saudi Arabia, and now he's going to be a little bit short on ops here.
That's interesting. I think I was looking at Mexico and South Africa.
Yeah, I was looking at Mexico and Panama. I think those are countries that need to be taken before Saudi. If Derek wants to dump Middle East for even, you let him do it. I don't know that Saudi was necessary there. And now Jeremy's not going to have the ops to take both Panama and Mexico.
Yep.
If this is an empty action round, you can't. Derek knows you have Suez. I don't think Jeremy can afford to not replace any of these. He has to maintain his domination.
Definitely.
So this should be two France and two UK. And yeah, so you've got to replace two of these rather. I like replacing all three. So an ABM, ABM Quagmire, Missile Envy, whatever, doesn't flip France. But yeah, there are bigger priorities on the board. I like this Saharan States move. Think it's fine. Um, and I don't think Derek is going to take the bait. I think he'd rather fill up the lower half of South America, perhaps. But
I think
again,
so.
Mexico and Panama need to be taken here, and they're not
I
going to be.
really, I really like the third op in Venezuela to protect against a lot of things.
Yep.
Nasty mid-war cards, voice being the nastiest.
Yeah, so I do like that, but on the other hand, voice is going to be nasty either way, because voice is going to if voice isn't taking them out of South America, it's going to take them out of Africa or the lower half.
Yeah. I think
Ooh,
the
a
upper half of
jam of
South,
Libya.
I was going to say the upper half of
Yeah.
South, I think is the hardest for the Soviets to get back into.
Yes.
But yes, this jam of Libya play, very interesting.
Uh, okay. So
Setting up for the
Derek,
Muslims.
yeah, Derek is hoping for Muslim revolution, and he doesn't. He obviously doesn't want to. Um, he doesn't want to lose access to Libya if we get an early Sadat. I don't mind that play, but I think I would have rather seen him just take South America control and hope Sadat doesn't come out turn four. But all right.
Yeah. And what do you make of the Nicaragua play for Jeremy instead of going for Nigeria?
Yeah, you went to Saharan states. Oh, and there's VOA. Okay, so VOA is going to do some
There
mean
she
things. The
is.
question is where?
Now, is it your headline? You have some other interesting cards.
Yeah, so I think, yeah, I think it's my headline. Right, I think I'm headlining VOA here, and depending on what I see from Derek, maybe clean him out of Angola. So I have Allende in hand. So maybe you leave alone the bottom half and you either clean him out of the top half or you take him out of Africa. Of course, Portuguese or South African unrest would make you look real dumb there. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think, like you were saying, I think I like voice here, clean him out of the top half of South America. What do you like?
I think that's I think that's my play as well. Now I am slightly concerned with how fast Derek's headline was once again. I'm thinking it either could be a junta or an ABM incoming.
Yeah. Yeah, and purge would be purge would be a little bit nasty here too. You have to space socialist hold libs, and then yeah. So Jeremy communicating with us here. Brush in north part of South America. Yeah. So I don't know. I like VOA and maybe a mid-turn subs to coup in Africa. Okay. Well, now that makes things much trickier. Now I think I don't know. Now do you just dump him out of Africa?
Yeah, with junta, he's gonna get right back there anyway. I think Africa's probably the play.
Yeah, so Africa, I think you're going to, yeah. So now, of course, doing this, junta is now free to go into Mexico, but Mexico then becomes a great brush war target or potential even realigned target. The other thing is, so Jeremy can now go to Mexico, coup Panama, and then he can coup Saharan states if he wants on AR1 and get right back into Africa.
Yeah, that's the value of the USSR junta headline. It's just so strong,
Yeah,
especially if he rolls huge on a Panama coup. That's just a free control for you. You deny Nigeria. Yeah, it's just everything you could have ever dreamed for.
yeah. Derek, Derek not happy about the turn four VOA, and rightfully so. But Derek's turn four junta, okay, and he's gonna coup Nicaragua, and now he wants a bigger coup on Panama, I assume.
I guess so. Does that mean oh,
Oh, I don't like. Okay. So you got to you're giving sock govs here, right?
I think so, yeah.
And then you're gonna but then you got to repair it. Like you can't coup.
In case Derek has the Europe.
Yeah. Well, even if he doesn't have Europe, like you
Yeah,
can't
you
give up.
lose
You
France,
can't
yeah.
leave France at 2-1 or Italy at 1.
Ah, yeah, I neglected that Italy only had three in it. Yeah, I think you do have to repair. Are you
Yeah.
willing to
So
give?
sock govs. Are you? I don't think I want to give up a 3-op coup. I think I'd rather give up sock govs and then just repair it. Right?
But you also can't fully repair it, right? If you go to Italy, one
No,
France,
yeah,
or
that's
no,
true. So I guess if Derek goes 2 France, 1 UK, then he can't take back domination. If Derek goes 2 France, 1 Italy, or 2 Italy, 1 France, he can fully repair.
yeah, looks like that's essentially what Jeremy's trying to communicate here.
Yep, that's exactly right. So he's just going to give up the 3-op coup.
I
Yeah,
guess hope it misses. Yeah,
I don't know what the right play here is. I think I would rather. I think I like giving up sock govs because then you're just kind of done with it. It's no longer an obligation. Um,
oh,
does Derek not realize that DEF CON is 3?
well,
Clearly, he does realize that.
clearly he does, because then a missile envy event at two would be probably risky.
Yeah. Okay, so he's going to give up a 2-op coup in South America.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I like that, but yeah.
He
Does Derek have Africa?
makes me think he has an
Perhaps.
Angola card. That makes me think he doesn't have an Angola card because that says I'm desperate to get back into Africa by any
Right.
means possible, and I am willing to give you a 2-op coup in South America. So now I think you roll on Brazil now, right? And you get a 4, and you can at least get 1 influence in there,
Yeah, that's pretty good odds to not
and
get
then
controlled.
that, and now you obviously a 1. Derek can just put 3-ops in there, and then I think you're gonna brush there. Okay, let's see what he gets up. Well, great play by Derek. What were we saying? That was a great play by Derek because he knew Jeremy would roll a 1 on his big South American coup, and now Derek can freely take Nigeria. Interesting. That suggests a low ops, perhaps a weak hand. Perhaps Derek could have evented arms race there. It suggests he would
Yeah.
have a better 3-op.
And it seems like he doesn't have a South African event, because I think that would have gotten evented before taking Nigeria.
Yes. Oh, for sure. Yes. I would have evented that immediately, especially with Saharan states at 5.
Right. So yeah, perhaps the second op in Angola not immediately necessary, but maybe not much else to do with it anyway. Maybe Burma.
Okay. Summit. I didn't see where Summit went.
I didn't quite see either.
Did it go to Syria? Syria gives domination.
Yeah, looks like.
Yeah, I like this. I like this brush war.
Yeah, take it when it's hot, and did not see the roll, but it was high enough.
Evidently good enough. I hope it was a 3. Oh, Derek getting Romanian again. And he's got to take Brazil with it.
Now, whatever happened to blockade? Did Derek use that last
Derek
turn?
played it for ops.
Okay.
Derek played it for ops. Yeah. I don't know. So now you got sock govs and libs and Allende. So you're clearly spacing libs and you're hoping to space sock govs. I think I would have liked to just give sock govs, get it out of the deck. Out into the discard pile rather. And then you were going to give up the coup anyway. I don't know though. I don't know what was right. If sock govs was my only space card, then I like the way he played it, but you're not going to space sock govs here unless you get the double space.
Yeah, overall, it's been a pretty productive turn for the US, though, hasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you flipped Zaire, Angola, and Venezuela. You did lose Nigeria, which I think was preventable, and then you lost Mexico as well. But overall, I would say that's a win for Jeremy. Now, you also lost Middle East domination, to be fair, um, because Libya, Derek eventually took Libya and was able to secure that domination for three VPs. But three VPs is only three VPs. Middle East looks like it's not going to be a particularly high scoring region for either side.
Yeah.
Okay, OPEC is nice. That's another three. And I think you have to you're going to give Allende here, right? And hold nuclear subs, potentially try for Africa control.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Going one Cameroon. The other option would be to use subs to poke Brazil.
Oh yeah, that is a possibility too. Um, which would have stopped presence in South America. Okay,
Yeah.
he gets Africa, and so ABM. So we have so Derek got Junta turn four. He rolled poorly on a Nicaragua coup, and Jeremy got Brush War, rolled well, flipped Venezuela. Now Jeremy gets ABM. So all of the big three are out, and plenty of ops here for Jeremy as well.
It's a little more dice, though.
Okay, so Missile Envy is gone, so we don't have to worry about it, even if it weren't. You've got NTB.
Yeah.
Is ABM your headline here, or are you going to keep it in your pocket and headline something else? Puppets doesn't seem great.
I'm thinking about subs still because that might stop Derek from taking a coup in Africa on turn one.
Yeah.
And maybe
Okay.
you can dump it for domination sneakily.
Okay. So
But
he
ABM,
does
not a bad choice.
go for ABM is never a bad choice. Um, are you gonna take a shot at Brazil here?
Hmm. I mean, with Africa in hand and, I guess cooing a one stab with ABM feels a bit wasteful sometimes, but at least it's gonna work.
Yeah. Yeah, you do. You have Africa in hand, but you also have the ops to, even if you lose Zaire, you're going to get domination in Africa, right? Even with a big lone gunman coup, I think you're still getting domination in Africa. Okay, well, so that would have evened out South America. Instead, goes for Nigeria, which is the safer play. And maybe you're going to go for Africa control here. And so Derek, he could coup Zaire here, and then protect it with a Cameroon coup. But then if he rolls a one or a two, that is an epic disaster for Derek, and he's looking at getting controlled. So what do you think? Do you think he's going to take the chance here and coup with Lone Gunman, or he's going to wait and coup with a bigger card?
Yeah, I mean, if you're holding South America though, as Derek, well, you're still likely going to dominate. So I guess you're trying to do work in Africa either way. Um, yeah, I'm probably cooing Cameroon with gunmen and reaching for a larger card on Zaire.
Yeah, or like you said, I mean, I wasn't thinking about that, of course, but a big coup here on Venezuela gets you control in South America, even as you are getting controlled in Africa.
Yeah, the marginal gain for that
Thank you,
control is
Jeremy.
just not
Yes,
that great.
yes. Oh, and
Of
Jeremy says
course.
it to Derek. I think
Oh,
he only meant
whoops.
to say that to us. Oh, yeah.
Well, Derek has the gunman, so
Derek has a gun and he sees, but
yeah,
yes.
okay.
Yes, and you are correct, Jeremy. It is required. Derek wants to invite me onto his channel to comment games. Pope better get evented. That's how you know it's high level Twilight Struggle, Frank. Pope is getting invented.
Invent the Pope without any other considerations.
Yep, just gotta. I mean, it actually this is not terribly friendly Pope territory if I'm being honest. I think Eastern Europe is at 5 and Warsaw is still on the deck. It is this is not a great time to event the Pope. I would still do it anyway, but this is the situation where it's least likely to do good. You can't immediately threaten to take Poland, and you don't want to pour in ops. Oh, he takes the Angola coup. So he sees Africa, takes the Angola coup, and now I assume he's gonna
dump 4 ops into south.
Yeah, I think you've got to put one Angola. He's gonna go what? One Angola, 2 south.
Yeah, it's looking like it. Oh, it just went 3 south.
Okay, just goes 3 south. So Jeremy with the opportunity now.
But do you just dump the scoring?
Yeah, I think you just dump the scoring here. Whoa, this is greedy. No, I don't like this.
Nuke subs. I mean,
how much better is Africa going to get?
I do have to imagine he wants to coup Brazil, maybe even twice.
Yeah.
Not sure if any of these coups are going into Africa with him already dominating.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm Derek, I'm jamming France here. Okay, yeah, jamming Venezuela is good too, so we don't get knocked out of Brazil. See, I like dumping the scoring first. You're not getting control in Africa. Yeah, you can coup Angola if you want to, but that's just a 2 VP swing. It's actually only a 1 VP swing now because Derek didn't have South Africa before. Now he does.
Yeah. So now you have to fix Venezuela first, I think.
Yeah, you're going to have to keep... yeah.
And yeah,
or
with
you
the
could
Africa
ignore
scoring
that.
still
You could coup Angola, which protects Zaire. You could let Derek take Venezuela, and then you coup the heck out of Brazil.
Boy, that seems a bit risky to sacrifice potentially your only South America country.
Yeah, and I mean, and even with a 4-op, you need a 4 to flip it. Now, to be fair, I think if Derek had a 4-op that he was willing to play, he would have played it right there to take South Africa. Although, no, he wouldn't have, because that wouldn't have stopped Dom. What am I talking about? Oh, it goes for
interesting.
Yep. So now it's overprotected. Okay.
That seemed pretty inefficient, though. You could have just placed ops and accomplished virtually the same thing. I mean, I get Brazil now is Derek has no adjacency, but he could potentially just play into Uruguay.
Yeah. Also, you could have overprotected Zaire, is what I promised I was going to say that. You could have used 2 ops to overprotect Venezuela and the 3rd to overprotect Zaire. Now, Derek has 3 battlegrounds in Africa, so now you're going to be coupping in Africa.
Yeah, you got to get that back.
Yep. So now Africa, which Jeremy could have dumped for 5, is now USSR domination. Now I think Jeremy's going to get this back, and he should be able to dominate relatively. Oh no, no. Oh, and you roll a 1. That's what happens when you use the Pope for ops, folks. You heard it here first. You use the Pope for a coup, you're going to roll a 1. You're just that's what's going to happen.
And I don't think that was the role
Justin
Jeremy
throws
was looking for.
his wonderful. Yes, yes, that is exactly what happened, and you roll a 1.
Yeah, and I forgot for a second that Derek knows Jeremy's hand here, so Derek knows Africa.
Yeah, Jeremy's not getting domination. Jeremy is not going to get this domination now.
We were discussing before how we would have dumped Africa scoring before the subs. Yeah, definitely the case if Derek saw my hand with gunman.
Yes, you want to get rid of scoring cards as soon as possible. Now you're going to take a 4-op coup. So you got to take a 4-op coup, and of course he rolls a 6 on that one. So now you have domination back, but Derek can just poke here. Oh no, he's okay. He's going to score a central domination. All right, so I was wrong. He is going to get his Africa domination, although it's one VP less, and he had to spend a lot of ops in a valuable event
Yeah,
in Africa just to get one fewer VP. Also, we haven't talked about it, but these two guys both at Space 2 on the space racetrack, and neither has gone to space this turn. Both of them, with the gunman evented and a scoring card scene, they both had other priorities.
yeah.
And here we go. Derek misses on the roll, and I would think you just immediately space back here, right?
I think so. Yeah. Reaching for China.
What? Okay,
Okay.
I think that could have waited till next action. I like spacing Quagmire than taking a coup with Brezhnev.
Yeah.
Okay, so Derek had two scoring cards of his own. That explains why he did not fight so hard in Africa. Now,
Yeah.
I mean, now you have to take. You're taking Argentina, right? You've got to you want to take Argentina, maybe take Argentina and Uruguay, right?
Yeah. With
With
Brezhnev, I think
Brezhnev.
so.
Now you miss out on your space shot though,
Or
but
take Argentina and poke Brazil. Oh,
oh, a coup?
feeling coup happy again.
Just because you can, I mean, yeah, if you, yeah, and
Yeah.
that's, yeah, yep. I don't like that play. I like Argentina and Uruguay, which sets up a potential realign and potential domination if you get OAS. Yeah, I think that was a mistake.
Yeah, I think there was no need to take that risk. Placing ops was just probably the way to go.
Cooing is almost always better in Africa than placing ops, but in South America, that's not the case. Okay, so a
Yeah,
nice hand
those
here.
two stabs are sometimes tough to topple their regimes.
Yeah. So Jeremy does get Europe. He's going to get that domination off.
Yep, that's nice.
And now the question becomes, so cultural you can hold, so cultural you can play, excuse me. But now Quagmire's still sitting in your hand, so I don't know if you're going to be able to. You're gonna have to. It's going to be tricky to hold Kennedy through here.
Yes.
See, I would want to hold Kennedy through, but now with Quagmire still in your hand because you didn't take your space shot, I think he's going to have to play Kennedy for ops. Because
Now,
this clearly is not a Kennedy hand.
yeah, I'm thinking with gunmen already gone, comes slightly less important to hold, right?
Yes, it's definitely less important. So you're mostly looking for bad scoring cards.
Which South could certainly be bad, but I think that's the only one in the immediate future. So I'm not sure if it'd be worth the effort to carry along JFK a few turns.
Yeah. So
Grain
I
sales,
guess,
yeah, seems like a pretty obvious headline.
Yeah, grain sales is the clear choice here. Okay, and how I learned. So Derek wants to get a coup in. It's Che. As Che is nearly
Not that
free.
bad. Yeah,
You're going to give up a Cameroon coup, but I think I'd allow that.
Yeah, you're cooing Brazil
for sure.
And searching for higher than a one, but does not get it.
Back-to-back ones in Brazil.
That is rough.
Now Derek with the opportunity to set DEFCON to 3 and get his own coup.
Now he might want to leave it at 2 though, and just take Argentina. Again, the safer play.
That's true. That's true. You could see him leave it at 2. But Derek, 3-op coups, they always roll that. They always kind of remove at least one influence, right, Frank? 3-op coups in 2 stability countries, they always remove influence.
Yes, if you roll anything but that one.
Yeah. Says our Pena, I hope you're watching tonight.
The AB
Mr.
one.
Anything but a 1. Okay, so Jeremy misses on his coup. Derek decides not to take the risk and decides to simply take Argentina. Now, now South America looking pretty red. The question is, does Derek have the scoring? And is Uruguay still important here? I think Uruguay is pretty important because if you don't take it, then Derek's going to take it either to score domination or just to protect Brazil.
Yeah, Uruguay.
Use cultural right here. to take Uruguay, and then you use the other op where.
I really wish I had a 4-op to take Uruguay and poke Brazil.
Yep.
Yeah, I just don't think this is going to work.
Yeah, I don't. You can fix that with a 2-op. You already have access to Uruguay. I like that play if you don't have access to Uruguay already. But Jeremy with the 1 in Argentina, so he does have access. I don't think this is going to accomplish much for him.
Yeah, unless he catches Derek with a really awful hand.
Yeah, I mean, he may have been counting the cards and knows that Derek's hand is bad.
Yeah, perhaps there's a number of US2s still out there. Well, but the 2 most important ones in grain and voice.
Yep, grain and voice are gone. Puppets in Jeremy's hand. I'm sure Jeremy would love to see Derek have to take back Brazil with Camp David.
Yes.
Derek clearly will not be playing Colonial. Okay, and Derek has a 4-op. Now this is just going to go to Brazil to Uruguay, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, and that's a smart play by Derek. And I think Uruguay was a country that Jeremy needed to take.
I agree.
And now you dump your scoring, right? I think you.
Unless...
No. You don't dump your scoring. No, you got to go space. You got to go space. What am I saying?
Right. 100% space.
Yes.
Get that
Europe is safe. Brush war is gone. Europe is safe. But yes, you got to go to space here.
It's either that or I guess take a coup on Uruguay and realize your mistake of not taking it last turn.
Whenever I do that, I always roll a 1. Every time I screw up, don't take a country, and then like, oh crap, I didn't take the country when I should have. I'm gonna coup it. Maybe I can get it now. I always roll a 1. Play deck always punishes me.
And it's always with a 3-op card too, right?
Whenever I make a mistake
possible
and I try to use the dice to get out of that mistake, it never works. Okay, so Jeremy now needs a 5 in order to flip Uruguay. Gets a 3. I think Derek will probably just take that right back.
Yeah, not a 1, but still not high enough to be particularly impactful, it looks like. Yeah, AY easily takes Uruguay again.
Yeah. I think you've got to take your space shot here. And I mean, I would concede this domination if I...
Not sure about this.
I don't like this. I don't like this at all. I would space 1. I would space either Quag or We Will Bury You. I would stomach the Korean War. Milops is not a concern. Flower power is not a concern.
Yeah, the only way I see that play being justified is if you knew Rush War or something was still in the deck and you were really trying to dig for it to level South America, but the power parts were all gone.
Yeah, sometimes, you will dump a mediocre but not bad, a hand that's not good but not with problem cards just to try and get powerful stuff. But the most powerful stuff is still around. And now Derek gets the first space shot and he misses on the roll. But now Jeremy's not going to go to space, right? You're not spacing puppet governments here.
No. But good news for Jeremy is Derek does, well, no, even if Derek does have South, spacing first is still correct.
Yes. Derek may well still have South. So now I think you're going to hold Purge, right? Yeah, I think OAS isn't going to do much. I think you're going to, you hold Purge and you event Sadat. That's going to make the Middle East look much better. It's going to flip domination, in fact, from red to blue. That's a nice 6 VP swing.
We haven't seen Muslim.
We have not seen Muslim, but if Egypt is at 2-0, that's not a great Muslim. Okay, so if Derek had the scoring, I think we clearly dump it right here. So he doesn't have it, and we'll see it then on turn 7.
Yeah, so that's great news. Jeremy can end the turn with OAS jamming into Brazil and carry the Purge over.
Okay, Jam Saudi Arabia. That okay, that's I guess Derek does have Muslim because there's lots of good stuff in the discard pile here.
Yes.
Yeah, he's going to wait on Sadat. I think that's right. So you're going to use puppets here, but I think you can only wait on him one more action round. Because you want to play with South America still to score, you want to play OAS on AR7 for sure
Yep.
to break domination. And then you want to hold Purge for sure.
Agree.
Okay, so Puppets event goes Guatemala, Zimbabwe, Ethiopia. Reestablish Africa domination. Okay.
Surprised not Sudan. It probably doesn't matter, but sometimes having that access to Egypt after a Muslim or something.
Yeah, yeah. He is still in Israel, so and Libya, but Sudan may be better. Sudan's also a country that's easily available to the USSR to take. Okay. So there's a Muslim event.
Yeah. So certainly Sadat.
Yeah, so I think Sadat now, and you're just going to concede Iran.
Well, you have no option, right? You have
Well,
no
I mean, you
access to
can use
take it.
Purge. Oh, that's right. That's right. Of course you can't. You can't. You have no access. He has no access there. So, of course, he's conceding it. Yeah. So Sadat there, and then OAS to break domination. So, okay, one small step for a coup. Okay, retaking Central Dom. Okay, OAS pokes what? Brazil and Argentina here?
Mm, that probably makes sense. Not sure if just going two into Brazil is better.
Oh, I don't like this at all.
Oh, what's going on?
Oh, no, no, no. You've got to hold Purge.
Yeah.
No, I don't like a Mexico poke. Not with South America still to be scored.
Uruguay might make sense.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I just like putting them both into Brazil because even if you poke the Argentina, it's kind of it's not actually a threat, I think.
Yeah, well, the other thing is if you put both in Brazil, it's not really a threat either because Derek still has domination. Okay.
Right.
So he goes one Mexico, which I don't like with Central America already scored and South America still to be scored. Okay, but now Jeremy gets South America, and he also gets defectors as a redraw. Is defectors a headline here, or so? Derek now, if he's been card counting, which I assume he has been, he knows that Jeremy has the purge. So I wonder if you do. So Jeremy also should know most of Derek's hand. What scary stuff is still out there for Derek?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Not much
Muslims, we've
comes to
seen OPEC.
mind.
Decall is not that great right here.
No.
What else? Brezhnev is gone. I mean, yeah, so it's pretty much just redraws. Obviously, a junta redraw is just devastating, as is a brush war redraw. Did we lose a stream here? No, we didn't.
No.
Jeremy's just thinking here. But boy, a redraw on turn 7 defectors. Again, Jeremy just should know what's in Derek's hand and know what he's.
Yeah, I think he's just crunching the numbers. I don't think there's enough stuff you're scared about to go defectors. I'm thinking Purge is still my headline.
Yeah, I agree. Question is, how many redraws does Derek have? Because he's probably going to headline pretty aggressively. Because how many redraws were there? There were 3 redraws here. But yeah, I mean, the Purge is obviously just so strong. Also might help you on the space race and
Yeah.
give Derek less good options to space.
Yeah, now I'm back to the AR7 play of last turn. If we did poke Brazil and Argentina, dumping South America becomes a huge consideration in the headline this turn, right?
Yeah, exactly. That was my thinking. Is if you poke both, then you dump South America. Derek has to have something like ABM Brush Junta to get that domination back.
Yeah, yeah, I think that was definitely the right play. Thinking
Then you
back,
could hold. Then you could hold Purge till action round 8, or you could just have a nice 4-op. Nothing wrong with using Purge for ops.
Derek, with how long he's taking here, he might be concerned about this purge incoming and trying to figure out how to handle his hand.
Okay, South African unrest. I really does not
Yeah,
bother me if I'm
that's a
Jeremy.
nothing.
Not worth. Certainly not worth defectoring. It does stop domination, I guess. So that's a little something.
Not completely useless, but not scary either.
Yeah. Although it only stops domination if you're putting both into Botswana. And I think you want to put at least one into Angola.
I would think so, yeah.
And then what is Derek going to just coup Brazil here?
Or do you just... Oh,
No
yeah.
influence. Okay, so he's going to go for a 3-op China card play.
Yeah, I was thinking about just overprotecting Brazil because then Argentina becomes the more odds efficient coup target, but it's also realignable.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So Derek decides to give up the coup, not take the risk, and get Mexico back. And then yeah. So I mean, if you're Jeremy, you
And
take a
with how
4-op coup, you
yeah,
don't have any other 4-ops to jam with if you don't roll well.
and I'm also thinking with how fast Derek played China, obviously he also knows Jeremy has Nixon. Maybe
Yeah.
he did redraw a few nasty US twos like grain sales and really needed that for hand management.
Yeah, that's possible. Okay. So Jeremy tries the coup on Brazil, rolls a 3. So Derek can just take that back. Yep. So if it were me, instinctively, I see Warsaw for ops on AR7. I am immediately scrolling back up, and I'm going to look at East Germany and Poland. Okay, big coup in Uruguay. Wow.
Yeah, that's the only way you're going to contest this.
Yeah, now Derek needs to take Peru and then hope these realigns don't work.
Yeah, no way you're cooing Uruguay back.
Jeremy,
you could
a little
realign
low
Uruguay,
ops,
maybe.
Potentially, yeah, you could do that. But even if you're successful, that doesn't stop domination. That doesn't give you domination.
That's true. Yeah, good point.
Germany can just dump the scoring for 2. I think Derek has to get this domination. Now Jeremy's also running a little low on ops. He's only got 2s.
Oh.
Okay, well, I guess we're going to see a coup on Uruguay, but something else first. Yep, Zimbabwe. Yeah, he gets a coup, and so now, yeah, you had to have even a 6 there doesn't get you Uruguay.
Yeah.
And so now Jeremy is free to dump the scoring.
And I'm not sure why it's taking this long. I think dumping is instant play.
You have to dump here.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe he's considering space. But I think you have to dump here for just the -2.
Yeah.
Before Derek takes Peru.
It's too easy for Derek to get the dump back. Yeah, you have to dump.
Yeah, I think I like taking Peru better.
Yeah, take Peru with Che.
Yeah. Okay, so Derek misses again on the space roll. So again, Jeremy is not punished for not going to space. But now I think you go to space here, right?
I think that was Derek's 3rd miss.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think spacing here makes sense. Just get that out of the way.
CRG's now. I'd rather have my obligations clear first before I'm playing a card like CRG.
Yeah. Especially because this could be more impactful on action round 7.
On AR7, or maybe AR6, given that Derek is purged. But I would wait another action round. I would get this spacing done right away. And then, Frank, what do you want to do with Nixon? Do you want to hold Nixon? Do you want to play it for VPs, or because you want to hold defectors? Um, what
Yeah.
do what do you like to? You just want to hold Nixon till turn 8?
Yeah. Holding Nixon is interesting because it came out turn 7, so it's the only time you're going to see him, right?
Yeah,
Um, yeah, I guess holding that or defectors are the two
yeah,
that make more sense.
yeah. So he spends defectors, so now Derek won't have to worry about that the rest of the game. Yeah, and I can't see West Germany and Poland, or East Germany and Poland, but I think they're both at 5. Warsaw gone. Boy, it would be a lot if the Pope had been evented. Europe control would very much be in play, and Derek perhaps may have even been compelled to think about eventing Warsaw. But as it
Yeah.
is, the Pope was not evented, so um, Europe control unlikely to be a path for Jeremy. Now, I generally will only go for Europe control when it's my only hope. And certainly, this board is not lost. Jeremy's ahead in Africa. He's ahead in Europe. South America, he's behind, but could easily crawl back. Asia is even. And so, I would say Jeremy is behind in this game, but that it is nowhere near over. And I mean, heck, Europe scoring on turn 8 followed by war games, and then he just wins immediately.
Yep.
Gunmen and CIA both out of the deck. Worth pointing that out.
Camp David. It's a known card.
Yep. So a one-op coup from Derek. Yeah, Derek's hand was not good as it is.
Yeah. He's eaten this purge.
Yeah, I like CRGs here. See what Derek can do to fix it, and then you can do a two-op follow-up. Maybe you take advantage of it in Africa, or maybe you do something like break Mexico. Um, something even one Pakistan here is interesting on AR7 to both threaten Iran and threaten the Pakistan flip, which flips domination in Asia.
Yeah, that's got some value.
Yeah,
I'm going to
actually,
step away for 1 second here.
okay. All right. Well, Portuguese is a very good event for Derek to counter the CRGs there. Yeah, I like one Pakistan here, one North Korea. Okay, I get it. That makes sense too. And now you threaten to take North Korea with the China card. Okay, and there's terrorism in Middle East. Oh, and he gets the Pope back. Gets the Pope back. Also gets Truman, which is interesting. Yeah, and Jeremy looking up at Poland, seeing that it is at 5. I like a Pope headline here now. VOA is obviously strong as well. Potentially used in the Middle East, can really shake things up there. Removing Middle East presence would kind of force Derek's hand, but Derek might also be tempted to ignore the Pope, and then you can play Truman, or you can even put 4 ops in there, and then play Truman, and you're guaranteed to get Poland out of it. Now, of course, Poland may be less valuable here.
All right, I am back.
Well, you missed me going on about the Pope. Oh, and Derek headlines at scoring into Voice of America. What a disaster for our friend The Rock.
Wow,
Sorry.
got back just in time.
Sorry, that definitely was worth me raising my voice.
Yes, yes.
No pun intended there. So Derek decides he's going to headline Asia into VOA. So I was advocating for a Pope headline with Truman in hand, but it goes with VOA, and a great choice which flips domination to Jeremy. And then Jeremy also threatens Mexico here, and looks like Libya as well. Not only threatens Libya, but also gets stops Middle East domination temporarily. Oh, that is a disastrous VOA for Derek.
Wow.
I mean, that's a game changer right there.
Wow.
And now Derek has to worry about war games.
Yeah.
Jeremy doesn't have it, but he has to think about it.
Yeah, it's might force Derek to play inefficiently, obviously, to get out of War Games territory.
Yep. And now Derek's going to go for a four op
Just gonna go
coup.
for the coup and say, if you have it, good for
Oh,
you.
and he rolls a one. He coups Algeria. Now, yep.
Yes, not a good series of events for the Rock
No,
here.
no. So now Jeremy has all kinds of choices. He can dump Middle East if he wants. He can take back Algeria and Mexico with a three op. He can flip over Libya if he wants. Yep, I like using.
Yeah.
I'm fine using China here. Now we don't know where Muslim revolution is. Obviously, Muslims here is a big problem for Jeremy.
Yeah, I like this play.
I'm fine. I'm fine with this. And then you give up Mexico, but you get the other two.
I'm looking at Jeremy's hand, and yeah, with the Pope and Truman, I think I probably would have sent John Paul on a mission. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I
that
see.
that voice turned
Um,
out
yeah,
excellently.
if it were a situation where Jeremy were way behind, I think the Pope is a no-brainer. You hope Derek ignores it, and then you put four ops in, and then the next turn, no matter what, you event Truman, and you have Poland for the rest of the game, and then it's just down to West Germany. But
Yeah,
VOA better in this case because this board certainly isn't lost for Jeremy.
Pope
Iranian,
Truman, Pope on AR7 and Truman holding can still be
yes,
pretty
that that
impactful as
that
well.
is strong as well. And then yep, we're just going to dump Middle East. So Middle East looked like a bad scoring for Jeremy, but he gets out of it at even. And now Derek is going to dump Africa. Looks like he'll lose one on that.
Yeah, that was a disastrous roll on the Algeria.
Yeah.
Derek would have been looking to dominate if he rolled decently.
Now I still like eventing the Pope this turn. I don't think there's any urgency to it anymore because I think if Derek had solidarity, he would have just played it to take Mexico instead of playing Iranian hostage crisis there.
Yep.
Hate to give away a free solidarity when you got the Pope sitting in your hand, but I think it can wait. And maybe like you said, an AR7 play, and then you see a Truman headline. What do you want to do with terrorism here, Frank? Do you like is terrorism your coup card? I think AI war is your coup card. Nixon's an event. Terrorism may also be an event. What do you think?
I do not have much success with inventing terrorism, so it always catches a favorable scoring somehow. So um, I don't know how you think about that. Seems like
I generally like to event it.
event it,
Okay,
yeah.
so but
I think the only times you'll catch me inventing terrorism is when I know my opponent's, has a hand problem or is holding a DEF CON card.
yeah, yeah, and yeah, sometimes the two ops are just more valuable. Now, I think it's pretty fair to say Derek doesn't have Europe scoring because he would have certainly invented Pershing and scored it, and invented Pershing in the headline and scored it if he did.
Okay. That's nice. Star Wars is still active, hitting that space.
Yep. I mean, Space Omen, so clearly doesn't have any real problem cards. Okay, and Poland is now at 6. How did Poland get to 6? Was it always at 6? I thought it
Pretty
was only
sure it
at
was at
5.
5. Yeah.
I thought it was at 5. I wonder if Derek. I missed that. But anyway, with Poland at 6, the Pope is significantly weaker.
Yeah.
Um, Honestly, still worth eventing given how weak France and Italy are right now. Um, but not something I'd be in a rush to event.
Yeah. Activating solidarity is still
Yep.
pretty
So
useful.
yeah, I think you need to play Nixon here,
Yeah.
and then AR7. You can think about the Pope. Although no, now you need your Millops. So I think you got to event Nixon, and then probably you're cooing with terrorism, and you're saving the Pope for next turn, or you're cooing with the Pope and saving terrorism. Oh, don't you do this?
Oh no. I was confused why he was typing that message, but you clearly realized what his action was about to be before I did.
Yeah, I guess. Well, I guess yeah. You still need your mill ops though. I mean, war games is very much a consideration here. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't. Yes, yes, I am, Derek. But I may have been wrong earlier. I thought Poland was only at 5, and so if Poland had been at 6 this whole time, the Pope again, I would still event it, but I'm me. I think the Pope with Truman in hand
Yeah.
is a no-brainer headline.
And it
Um,
looks like with Jeremy's message, Derek must have snuck in a op into Poland at some point during this turn.
Yeah, maybe.
That's
Okay, and then
interesting.
Derek forces in. Yeah, so that's a great play by Derek. Now Jeremy has to go ops here. I assume
Yeah.
you can play Truman for ops, or excuse me, you can play Truman for the event. Oh, I don't like that.
Oh, I don't like that.
I don't like that. I would rather play Truman for the event. Now France is very vulnerable. Derek can just take it with a 4 op.
Yeah.
And he has China. Now, obviously, that could get stolen with Nixon. So you're going to just take that and then
Yeah, I guess he plans to headline Truman.
I think I would have liked one Italy,
One
one
France.
France, so that ABM can't flip France.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Jeremy does say I was going to event it at 5. Yep.
Yeah. Yep. And wow, what do you make of this hand?
So these are all the cards that Jeremy wanted Derek to have. Grain, duck. Of course, he didn't want Derek to have salt. So yeah, I think yeah. So he can see Derek's headline. And normally, I would think of this as a no-brainer grain sales, but I think you've got to headline Truman if Derek doesn't headline something to disrupt that.
Yeah.
You
Especially if
cannot allow, okay, decall.
doesn't seem
I mean, decall can flip Thailand.
can flip Thailand, yeah. Does it change the Truman headline plan?
Well, you can play grain sales here, but then I think you can't coup with it. You've got to put one in. You can use grain sales, and
Or
you put one in
ops?
France and one in Thailand, and then you stop. I think with decall you cannot allow a Thailand flip. Okay, that's a
Oh,
nice pull. So yeah, you
yeah.
got to go one Thailand, one France, and then one somewhere else.
Um, why not just take France back now that you have the extra op?
Oh, you could do that. You could do that. And I guess Sock Gods, Pershing, and Reform are all gone, so you could just take it back. Yeah, you're right. And you know what? Not taking it back here is a dead giveaway that you have Truman. So I don't think you're going to tempt Derek into
Dumping ops into France, yeah.
into dumping ops into France. Also, this doesn't take back Europe domination.
Right, yeah,
So
that's the thing.
Derek could potentially dump the score. He decides to overprotect Algeria. I think that's okay. You're going to look dumb if Derek has Europe scoring. But if not, then yeah, France becomes 5-0. It's, definitely safer.
I was getting concerned back in the headline phase that Derek was going to headline Europe into Truman there.
Yeah. Yep. Oh my God. Headlining Asia into VOA and
Yeah,
Europe into Truman. That would have been just priceless.
back-to-back turns, yeah. Okay, now decall with Thailand overprotected has certainly lost a lot of its bite. Might end up
Yep.
flipping a few of these one stabs and leveling Asia, though.
Yeah. He could do that. Also, Zaire is realignable at +2 for Derek. Now, not that great because it's at 7.
Yeah.
Also, Derek is in Angola. But if you're really desperate, you could try realigns there and Zaire at some point, not obviously on AR1.
Mhm.
But let's see where Derek goes here.
Do you remember how Zaire got to 7? I mean, I remember the huge ABM coup on Nigeria, which brought it up to 5 apparently, but there must have been an even larger coup on Zaire at
Yeah,
some point.
Jeremy had to coup with a 4-op to make sure he didn't get
Oh,
dominated
that's
in
right. That
Africa
was
under
that was
nuke subs.
NTB. Yep. And rolled the 6.
Yeah, and he rolled a 6 after the rolling a 1 with the Pope.
Just to point that out
Don't
again.
use the Pope for ops, kids. Okay, so breaks to 2 Southeast Asian countries as we thought. 1 in Algeria. Oh, wow. And Derek immediately gives up, tear down this wall. That suggests that Derek
Yeah.
has some problems.
And more than, does that suggest he has 3 problems? Because he could have held teardown spaced something else.
Yeah, and terrorism is gone.
And
And so is
terrorism's
5-year
gone.
plan.
Yeah.
So are there, I mean, obviously he could have Cal, but if he had Cal, I think you would certainly give that up before you give
Yeah.
up tear
You
down.
might have Cal and Star Wars.
But even then, I think
Even then you give up
give up
Cal.
Cal
Yeah.
first because I mean Cal's inactive. Cal is essentially a free 4-op card. You just have to give up 2 VPs with it. Maybe okay, well maybe he's worried about war games.
Yes, that is another consideration. And a pretty important one in the late war.
Yep. And while I was yapping, Jeremy decided he was going to go ahead and roll a 6 in his East Germany coup.
Oh wow. Did not notice
So
that.
now Jeremy is in a position with a single 3-op card to take both countries.
Do you think cooing there was correct, or
Yes.
maybe realigning France was still in consideration?
I mean, yeah, you could realign France at literally +5, but if you realign, then Derek gets a coup.
Yeah. Yeah, certainly with other options at your disposal to get France back, I agree. Cooing was probably correct.
Yeah, clearly with Truman. Yeah, yeah, oh man. Europe control would be a serious threat now with the Pope invented. But yeah, Derek must have had some serious problems. Oh, and certainly Jeremy, happy to see that.
Yep. It's a nice 2 VP. Special, of course.
Yeah. I think I would event that immediately to pretend I had war games.
I think so. Yeah, just use it.
I like eventing. You know, I like using Truman on France, but now I like eventing special to bluff war games. Also,
well, where would you
to be
put the
honest with you,
special ops? I mean,
yeah, you could just. I mean, I think you just put him in France at this point and forget about
you
Truman.
can't event Truman.
Or yeah, you maybe jam East Germany later, but you at least then you do 2 things. Number one is okay, IP war misses. But yeah, number one, you threaten war games. But the second thing is you just irritate Derek by getting 2 VPs out of special, literally the AR after he plays NATO. Maybe he tilts, makes a bad play after he's like, oh, really? If I'd waited one more action round.
Now that's that high level TS the viewers have tuned in to watch.
Yes. You know, I wonder. Okay, so he goes to space. I wonder if we didn't talk about it, but maybe Jeremy should have evented Nixon on his AR1, given Derek's show of incredible weakness in his hand. but he waited till AR2. Still okay. So Derek, well, Derek now has to play all these cards anyway. So Derek could easily have Cal in his hand. Yeah. Now you got to event Truman. This is fine too, I guess.
Still not overprotected.
It is still not
Yeah, I think.
overprotected.
Yeah, I think maybe Truman
ABM
there
still
was
flips
worth
it.
it. You are so traumatized by these France flips. Huh?
No, okay. Well, yeah, I mean, I just, to be fair, I don't know where the two ops of special go if not France. So I get it. I get it. And maybe you use Truman in Eastern Europe, but Salt could also be an interesting event here. I don't know if I know you're clearly not eventing it now because Derek has DEFCON problems.
Yeah. Just cleaning his hand by getting rid
Yeah,
of
I mean,
lips.
Derek is playing as if he had Cal, but I think also, yeah, if Derek had Cal, he should have played the China card immediately on his AR2. Nope. Okay, he's got
Oh,
blockade. Okay, so Derek didn't have so Derek, I guess, was worried about. So yeah, so he could have played China. If he had played China, he could have Space Star Wars and held Tear Down. But instead he decided to give up Tear Down, which really didn't hurt him that much in the grand scheme of things. Now he gets both out of his hand.
huh.
So
Yeah, this
thinking
is an
about
interesting decision
emptying West Germany here,
for the VOA.
and then you're going to raise DEFCON to 5, and okay. Oh, I don't.
I'm not sure about this play. It seems
Uh,
gutsy. It might work out, but
okay, and a low ops hand here. Not this is Derek is going to get West Germany here. DEFCON. So DEFCON is at 5. Now things get tricky.
now this is again the mind games though, because Derek has already been hurt so bad by voice. Maybe
Yep.
he tilts and misplays turn 10 as a result.
Yep, that is possible. Also, I mean, after all that Truman talk, Jeremy held on to has Jeremy has held on to Truman. So if Derek does not immediately take West Germany, then Jeremy will be able to put 2 in there and win any ops war that ensued. And a missile envy is going to pull
Uh-oh.
Aldrich.
That's Aldrich.
Oh my.
Uh-oh. That's not good.
Oh my goodness. Wow, what a
That's a
turn of
disaster.
events. In our fantasy draft, I drafted Aldrich pretty high because it is such a huge swing that depends on who depending on who draws it. Much like 5-year plan, but even more so useful for the US if they draw it, not just a card to keep out of the USSR's hand. But and now Derek is going to get it. He's going to see the entire hand here, and then he's going to be able to dump voice. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was a big gamble by Jeremy to empty West Germany, and it's going to backfire on him.
Yeah, I mean, what happened had to be so exceedingly rare though, right? Like
Yeah.
Derek had to draw in headline Aldrich. You had to have no 4 ops and have Aldrich be your only 3 op card. Yeah, that was just very
Yeah.
unfortunate.
I'm still not excited about giving up West Germany though. I mean that's a 6 VP swing right there. Because VOA has a great AR7 play, of course, but VOA also can't do anything in Europe.
Yeah, I think I would have dumped Salt pretty quickly there to the blockade.
Yeah,
Again, this did seem like the more risky or gutsy and perhaps more interesting play, but yeah.
yeah. And so Derek not only will now be able to dump Voice America, but he's going to see Truman in Jeremy's hand. And so I think he will immediately take West Germany here.
Yes. Now with DEFCON at 5, this could be an interesting turn as well.
Yeah, he could also realign North Korea.
Yep. Guess that's the only crazy realigned target I'm seeing.
Well, he'll still be able to do it at DEFCON 4. Jeremy has to play Missile Envy, so so let's look at the board now. No VOA in play. Assume that Derek takes West Germany. That means Europe's going to be a draw. Central America is going to be red. South America looks to be a draw now, and Africa, I think.
Or are you assuming that Derek gets realigned out of Brazil? That South America being a draw?
Well, yeah, either that or Derek doesn't have time to take a non-battleground. Although he can just take Colombia. He's got he's in Panama. So yeah, Derek would have to get realigned out of Brazil. Okay, there goes Voice. No surprise there.
Ooh. Oh, dumps Europe. Yeah,
very surprised. That. Okay, and now a coup.
Okay.
So, I mean, I think North Korea realigns are a good play here. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, you're gonna coup Africa, and with the one stab sitting at 5, 7, and 4, you're better off cooing Algeria. Although and you know what? The U.S. doesn't even dominate Africa at the moment.
Yeah, he's going for the realigns.
Yep, I like this. Okay, not so great. Not so great. And one more roll, not so great. So now I think you coup if you're Jeremy here, right?
Yeah. Maybe Mexico?
Yeah. I think it's Mexico. Gets a 5. And now Derek, I think, needs to coup back. I mean, he could just take Mexico back and allow Jeremy yet another coup. Yeah, so 10 here for Jeremy. And at this point, just one domination for both sides on the board. So the board would seem at this point to favor Jeremy.
Yeah. And also, don't neglect that North Sea's in effect, and Jeremy will likely get 2 action rounds, one with China card to do some damage.
That's true. China card, and then potentially Truman AR8 could be interesting.
Yep.
You could poke East Germany and then Truman, and you don't even have to worry about West Germany.
So Derek did just take back Mexico.
Yep. Okay. And then lets Jeremy get the coup because Jeremy's hand is awful and he doesn't roll well. Okay. So Derek's going to be able to maintain his central domination, but he now is going to need to get mill ops as well.
Yeah.
Marine barracks is an issue for Jeremy. That stops his presence in the Middle East. So that's going to be an empty action round, actually slightly worse than an empty action round for him. Because that's going to take him out of Lebanon, Egypt, and then 1 out of Jordan as well, or 1 out of Israel. Oh, he's going to go China right now.
Oh.
Okay.
Where'd those ops? There's 3 in West Germany.
3 West Germany and 1 North Korea.
Ah, okay.
Oh, there's a big space here. Derek hits the
Oh,
roll, but Derek still needs mill ops. Also, um, I think we didn't talk about this at the time, but when you know your opponent has a Voice of America, isn't Missile Envy better played by the USSR on AR7 turn 10 to deny that play? Now, it wouldn't have worked here with North Sea, but
yeah.
I think Missile Envy probably is a better AR7 play than it is a headline.
I think so. I don't think I've ever thought about that. Obviously, if you have the Quagmire AR-10 and no voices
Yep.
coming, that's an obvious event. Um,
Okay, so Jeremy does get the one extra in West Germany, but now okay. Also,
oh,
oh,
hello.
ABM. What's that going to do? Panama, go for control.
Probably, yeah.
Yep, and he hits the roll.
Will it
Okay,
be good
now Derek
enough
has
though?
now. So now the question is, does Derek have central?
Well, if he does, you can't do much about it.
Yep, you're gonna. Yeah, you have to event Truman here.
Yeah. Let's get the Europe back. Going for Marine Barracks first?
I mean, this is an empty action round.
Yeah.
I guess you want. Yeah, I guess if you're gonna take two plays, you want it.
Although, hmm,
I would have rather saved China for my last play,
I think
or
so.
China for AR7, Truman AR8.
But then you would have needed to dedicate enough ops into West
Yeah,
Germany with your other cards, and with how
Derek.
ops
Yeah,
poor we were.
yeah, and Derek also could jam another battleground in Europe.
You're looking at
One
France there,
France
huh?
is very one. Yeah, one France or even one UK. I mean, one UK is annoying. Yeah. Okay. So Jeremy ahead in Asia, Derek ahead in the Middle East. Africa, Jeremy's ahead, but doesn't have domination. He's only got four countries to Derek's five. South America, Derek did not have the time to take a non-battleground, but we may see him take Colombia here. I like if Derek has a three op, I like one Colombia and one
And a Polka
France.
France.
Yeah, I like
I
one
was just
Colombia, one
thinking
France.
that, yeah.
Then Jeremy has to use both of his cards. He's got to use Truman to clear out West Germany and one op of Iran Contra to fix France. And so then he only has one. He can place one influence.
Yeah. Which
Actually,
isn't
you know
good
what?
enough in Africa, is it?
No, you know what? It is. It is five countries
It's
for each of them in
5-5.
Africa. So yes, he Jeremy in that case could go one Ethiopia. Okay, yeah. All right, what's he gonna do? One
Oh.
Colombia
And Paraguay?
and
So he
Paraguay.
just wants to lock in a down
Okay,
there.
so he locks in Dom there. Okay, so Truman. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I liked. Okay, Iran Contra. I think you.
Poke Mexico or Cuba.
How
Is
much is
that
that though?
3?
Five. Well, I guess no. That yeah, it's four,
It's
right? Because
4?
it's
Yeah,
two for
the
control and two for the
adjacency
battleground.
point. Yep.
That's four. Whereas taking
4.
Africa domination is only three. I think that is best, but I think Derek. Oh boy. Well, we're about to find out. Nope. Jeremy still has it.
Yep.
Wow, what an interesting game.
Very interesting game indeed.
Yeah, so we see um, Jeremy event blockade. Jeremy empties West Germany on turn 9 and to get salt. Derek headlines Missile Envy, and he doesn't take West Germany. He could have just, what did he have? He obviously wasn't going to use Chernobyl on AR1. Maybe Derek's hand was really that bad. Also, we didn't mention it, but Jeremy was running out of time. He only had 30 seconds left on his
Oh,
timer.
yeah. Wow, so the Rock goes down, the defending champion in this year's Illinois tournament. Not the start he was looking for, I'm sure.
No, no, indeed. And do we have Derek or Jeremy on for the stream afterward?
Oh, we do have Derek.
Hello, Derek.
Hello.
Oh man, it's a tough start for you.
Hey, I'm here too.
Hey, Jeremy.
Hey, Jeremy.
Good game.
Good game. I'm
not talking with Jeremy. I'm not talking with Jeremy. Frank can talk to Jeremy after what Jeremy did to my
after
friend
the
Pope.
situations.
Poor Pope. I could have spaced him if I really wanted to piss you off.
Yeah.
I was gonna event him, and then Derek overprotected it on turn 9.
Yeah, Derek had I was thinking he could be a decent headline because there was a good chance Derek would have probably ignored it on AR1. But then voice turned out to be much better.
Oh my god, voice. This game and voice.
Headlining, scoring cards into voice just generally doesn't work out well.
Oh man.
Almost got hit with the triple voice if it weren't for that miracle Aldrich Pope.
Yeah, Missile Envy worked out this game.
Yeah,
having some
Derek,
bad luck with it lately.
wanted to ask you, did you give any thought to playing Missile Envy on AR7 instead to prevent that VOA?
No. That would have been
Well, it wouldn't have worked because of North Sea oil.
Yes, with North Sea it wouldn't have worked.
Yeah, yeah, true. But I didn't consider that. I kind of was looking at my headlines and I'm like, this is really all I've got. Well, I could have headlined ABM, but I wanted to hold ABM. Because DEF CON was high. So it was kind of my only headline choice.
Yeah, and I was all set. In my head, I was headlining VOA because, he knew I had it. I could create a whole bunch of threats, but then I got North Sea Oil and I started thinking about that AR7 VOA to set up whatever, and then, boy, that sure didn't end up happening.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that hurt.
I'm not sure if I, looking at his hands, he didn't have a lot of ops. But I'm not sure what I could have done differently that last turn. He was ahead by too much.
I like the poke of France. I
like
your one Columbia,
and
then a poke of France forces Jeremy to, I think, have to spend ops, but also it wouldn't have been as good because Jeremy could have still put one in Africa to get Africa domination. So he still would have had enough. I don't think there was anything you could have done to change the outcome.
Yeah, I did consider that. I was kind of adding things up, and I thought, well, he's going to use Truman, but he can't use Truman on both countries. So, the South America was, I thought, the best play, but I don't think there was anything I could have done to actually.
There was something you could have rolled better on your IP war.
Oh, thank you. Yes, yeah, that could have done it.
Or your North Korean realigns.
Yes.
Oh, that was a little disappointing. Yeah, but I mean, Jeremy played well, and I just can't forgive him for the 2 red scares and the 2 VOAs.
Yeah, I had a lot of power events, a lot of them.
Oh,
I got nothing to complain about. So tell me, when were you guys calling me idiots? What did I do wrong?
Well,
I remember a few times, but I don't think there was anything too crazy. One thing that pops up is when we were fighting over South America when it still hadn't scored till turn 7, and you didn't take Uruguay, and you instead took Brazil, you crammed ops into Brazil. And we thought taking Uruguay was probably better. And obviously, in a turn or two, you ended up trying to coup into Uruguay, which didn't work the first time.
Mm-hmm.
I also would have on your nuclear subs turn.
Oh,
you had an opportunity to dump Africa for +5, and you evented subs instead. You eventually got your Africa dom, but you had to use a big 4-up coup in Zaire. Then you used the Pope for a coup, roll the 1. And it was, I didn't remember that. Never mind. But yeah, I think you may have done better to dump the scoring, and then later, if you wanted to go after South America with nuclear subs, you could have been an after. But man, the scoring card is just so it can be so vulnerable there, holding the scoring card when your opponent knows you have it. Obviously, worked out for you because you got your domination, but just something.
I think it cost me a point, didn't it? I think I was thinking that I could get 6, and then still have time to coup in South America, and then that just didn't work out. But yeah, you're right.
Yeah, you wound up with 4. Yep.
No, that makes sense.
All right. Well, thanks for commenting, Frank and Justin. And Jeremy, thanks for the game. Hopefully I'll have a little better luck tomorrow in my RTSL match.
I will point out, this is how the last tournament started, and you won, so.
Oh, that's true. Were you my first game last tournament, too?
I think so. You were definitely my first game. I don't know if
yeah, I think you were my first game, too. And it just went horribly. Like, this game was competitive, at least. Last year was awful. You just crushed me, I think, in turn 4 or 5.
Yeah, I don't remember much, but I remember it was my first game back in a while, and then I just got cards on cards on cards.
Welcome back.
Yeah.
All right, Derek, should I wrap up here?
Sure.
All right. Well, folks, that's going to do it for our coverage of the opening game of the Illinois Twilight Struggle tournament, with Jeremy Anders a victor in final scoring over Derek Miller to move to 1-0 in this tournament and get it off to a good start for him. Derek Miller falls to 0-1. We hope you've enjoyed this game as much as we've enjoyed bringing it home to you. We look forward to more great Twilight Struggle action right here next Wednesday and every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Central Daylight Time. But until then, for Frank Zhang, this is Justin Abramson, rounding third and headed for home, reminding you that everything will be okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end. So long, everybody.